The Importance of Gratitude in Buddhism, by a lifelong researcher in Buddhist philosophy. In the vast and intricate tapestry of human emotions and virtues, gratitude often occupies a quiet, unassuming corner. We are taught from a young age to say, "thank you," as a matter of politeness. A social lubricant that smooths our interactions. But in the course of my 4 decades of research into the teachings of the Buddha, I have come to understand that gratitude, from a Buddhist perspective, is not merely a polite sentiment. It is a profound and powerful practice of mental cultivation, bhavana, a cornerstone of a wholesome life, and an indispensable support for the path to liberation. In the modern world, our attention is habitually drawn to what is lacking. We are conditioned by a culture of ceaseless striving and comparison to focus on our unmet desires, our perceived inadequacies, and the gap between our current reality and our idealized future. This mindset, as the Buddha taught, is a fertile ground for the arising of discontent, envy, and greed, the very states of mind that lie at the root of our suffering. Gratitude, in this context, is a radical act of rebellion. It is a conscious and courageous shift of attention, a turning of the mind from the poverty of what is missing to the immense and often overlooked wealth of what is already present. The Buddha described a noble person with 2 key qualities, katanyu and katavedi. These ancient Pali terms form the very heart of the Buddhist understanding of gratitude. Katanyu means knowing what has been done, the ability to recognize and acknowledge the kindness, support, and countless conditions that have contributed to our existence and well-being. Katavedi means making known what has been done, the active expression of that gratitude through our words and, more importantly, through our actions. This is not a passive or naive Pollyanna-ism. It is a practice rooted in clear seeing and profound wisdom. It is the recognition of our profound interconnectedness, the understanding that our lives are not solitary achievements but the result of an unimaginably vast web of causes and conditions. To be ungrateful, from this perspective, is to be in a state of delusion, blind to the true nature of our existence. This article is an in-depth exploration of this essential virtue. We will delve into its scriptural roots, understand its role as a powerful antidote to our mental defilements, and map out a practical framework for its cultivation. We will see that gratitude is not something we should feel, but something we can actively practice, transforming it from a fleeting emotion into a stable and radiant quality of the heart. This is a journey into one of the most joyful and healing aspects of the Dharma, a guide to discovering the profound peace and contentment that is born from a truly grateful mind. Part 1. The Roots of a Noble Mind, Katanyu Katavedi and Anumodana. To grasp the depth of the Buddhist approach to gratitude, we must begin with its language, which reveals a conception far more active and nuanced than our simple English word, gratitude. Katanyu, the wisdom to recognize. The first quality, katanyu, is primarily an act of wisdom and mindfulness. It is the ability to know or recognize the goodness and support we have received. This is not always easy. Our minds are conditioned by the negativity bias, a survival mechanism that makes us hyper-aware of threats, dangers, and problems. We are experts at noticing when the train is late, when a colleague is difficult, or when our body is in pain. We are far less skilled at noticing the simple fact that the train usually runs on time, that many colleagues are supportive, and that most of our body is functioning without any problem at all. Katanyu is the conscious training of the mind to counteract this bias. It is the practice of looking at our lives with appreciative awareness. It requires us to pause and reflect. Who taught me to read? Who grew the food I ate for breakfast? What myriad causes, the sun, the rain, the soil, the farmers, the truck drivers, came together to make that simple meal possible? Who has shown me kindness, offered me support, or inspired me on my path? This quality is not about feeling indebted in a burdensome way. It is a joyful recognition of the truth of our interdependence. It is a seeing that dismantles the arrogant illusion of the self-made individual. The practice of katanyu reveals that we are standing on the shoulders of countless generations, supported by the efforts of innumerable beings, and sustained in every moment by conditions far beyond our own making. This seeing is the first step. It is the opening of the eyes of the heart. Katavedi, the virtue of response. The second quality, katavedi, is the natural and necessary complement to the first. It is the active response to our recognition of gratitude. It means to make known or to repay the goodness we have received. Gratitude in Buddhism is not a passive, internal feeling, it is a catalyst for virtuous action. How do we practice Cattavedi? Through words. The simplest form is to express our thanks genuinely and sincerely. To tell our parents, teachers, and friends that we appreciate them. Through actions. The deeper practice is to repay kindness with kindness. We express our gratitude to our parents by caring for them in their old age. We express our gratitude to our teachers by diligently putting their teachings into practice and sharing them with others. We express our gratitude to the world by living a life of harmlessness and service. Paying it forward. The Buddha understood that we can never fully repay the debt of gratitude we owe to others. The ultimate expression of Cattavedi is to pay it forward, to become a source of goodness and support for others in the same way that others have been for us. By living a life of generosity, dana, ethical conduct, sila, and compassion, karuna, we become a living embodiment of gratitude. Anumodana, the joyful appreciation of goodness. Another key practice related to gratitude is anumodana, which means rejoicing with, or appreciative joy. This is the practice of actively delighting in the good deeds and good fortune of others. When someone performs an act of generosity or kindness, we can mentally or verbally express our appreciation, saying, Anumodami, I rejoice in your merit. This is a powerful practice that cultivates gratitude for the very presence of goodness in the world. It is the direct antidote to envy, isa, and cynicism. Instead of feeling diminished by the success or virtue of others, we learn to feel uplifted and inspired by it. Anumodana expands our capacity for joy, allowing us to celebrate not just our own small victories, but the victories of everyone around us. It fosters a grateful appreciation for the entire community of goodness. Part 2. Gratitude as a foundational virtue and antidote to defilements. In Buddhist psychology, our unhappiness stems from the kilesas, the unwholesome mental states or defilements that poison our minds. Gratitude is not just a nice-to-have virtue. It is a powerful and specific antidote to some of the most corrosive of these defilements. The antidote to envy, isa, and jealousy. Envy is the painful feeling of wanting what someone else has. It is a mind state rooted in a sense of lack and comparison. Gratitude directly counteracts this. When the mind is focused on appreciating what it does have, there is simply no room for envy to take root. A mind that is grateful for the simple gift of its own health is less likely to be envious of another's wealth. A mind that is grateful for the love of its own friends is less likely to be jealous of another's relationship. The practice of anumodana, or sympathetic joy, is the active form of this antidote, transforming the poison of envy into the nourishment of shared happiness. The antidote to greed, lobha, and aversion, dosa. Greed, or attachment, is the constant craving for more. Aversion is the constant pushing away of what is unpleasant. Both are rooted in a fundamental dissatisfaction with the present moment. Gratitude breaks this cycle. It is the practice of finding contentment and satisfaction right now, with what is already present. A grateful mind is an abundant mind. It sees the richness and wonder in the simple, ordinary moments of life. This sense of inner abundance naturally reduces the frantic, greedy striving for more external things. Similarly, when we cultivate gratitude for the lessons and strength we can gain from difficult situations, our automatic aversion to them begins to soften. We are less inclined to meet hardship with anger and more inclined to meet it with a patient and inquiring mind. Fostering a mindset of abundance. The ungrateful mind lives in a perpetual state of poverty, regardless of its external circumstances. It is a poverty mentality that is forever focused on the one thing that is missing. The grateful mind, by contrast, lives in a state of perpetual wealth. It is an abundance mentality that sees the countless gifts that are present in every moment. This shift from a poverty mentality to an abundance mentality is one of the most profound transformations that can occur on the spiritual path. And gratitude is the key that unlocks it. It is the foundation for genuine contentment, santuti, a quality highly praised by the Buddha. Part 3. The 4 Objects of Gratitude, a Practical Framework. To make the practice of gratitude systematic and comprehensive, the Buddhist tradition implicitly and explicitly points to several key objects of our appreciation. We can structure our practice around these to ensure we are cultivating a well-rounded and deeply rooted grateful heart. 1. Gratitude for our teachers, the three jewels. The highest and most profound object of our gratitude is the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Buddha. We feel an immense gratitude for the historical Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, a human being who, out of boundless compassion, undertook a heroic quest for awakening and then spent 45 years tirelessly teaching the path to others. He is the ultimate guide, the one who opened the door to freedom. The Dharma. We are grateful for the teachings themselves, the clear, profound, and practical instructions that serve as a map to the end of suffering. The very fact that this timeless wisdom is still available to us today is a cause for profound appreciation. The Sangha. We are grateful for the community of practitioners, past and present, who have preserved and transmitted these teachings for 2.600 years. We are especially grateful for our own personal teachers who have guided us, and for our spiritual friends, Kalyana Mitta, who walk the path alongside us, offering support and inspiration. Contemplating our gratitude for the three jewels gives our spiritual life a sense of profound context and meaning. 2. Gratitude for our parents and ancestors. The Buddha placed a special emphasis on the debt of gratitude owed to one's parents. In the Katanyu Sutta, he states that even if one were to carry one's mother on one shoulder and one's father on the other for 100 years, attending to their every need, one could never fully repay them for the gift of life and for all the care and protection they provided when we were helpless infants. This teaching encourages us to look beyond the inevitable imperfections and difficulties that may exist in our relationship with our parents and to recognize the fundamental and irreplaceable gift they gave us, our very existence and our precious human rebirth, which is the necessary vessel for practicing the Dharma. This gratitude then extends outwards to our ancestors and to the entire lineage of humanity that has made our life possible. 3. Gratitude for all beings, and our enemies. This is a more radical and transformative stage of the practice. It is rooted in the understanding of our deep interdependence and the doctrine of rebirth. The Buddha taught that in the beginningless cycle of samsara, every single being has, at one time or another, been our mother, our father, our friend, and our benefactor. When we look at any person, even a stranger, we can practice seeing them as a long-lost relative to whom we owe a debt of gratitude. This perspective completely transforms our relationship with others, fostering a sense of universal kinship and kindness. Even more radically, the Buddhist path encourages us to cultivate gratitude for our enemies or those who cause us difficulty. The great 8th century master Shantideva, in his Bodhicariyavatara, argues that an enemy is a precious and rare teacher of patience, Khanti. While friends and loved ones rarely challenge us, an enemy provides us with the perfect opportunity to practice forbearance, non-retaliation, and compassion. Without them, how could we ever perfect this essential quality? To be grateful for our difficulties and for those who bring them to us is a sign of a truly mature and wise practice. It is the art of transforming poison into medicine. 4. Gratitude for the suchness of life. Finally, we cultivate gratitude for the simple, foundational, and often completely overlooked conditions of our existence. Gratitude for the body. Instead of focusing on its aches, pains, and imperfections, we can cultivate a deep appreciation for this incredible vehicle. Gratitude for the eyes that see, the ears that hear, the legs that walk, and the heart that beats. Even in sickness, we can be grateful for the parts of the body that are still functioning. Gratitude for the natural world. We can cultivate appreciation for the fundamental elements that sustain us, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the sun that gives us warmth and light, and the earth that provides our food. This fosters a sense of ecological reverence and connection. Gratitude for the present moment. Ultimately, the practice leads to a simple, profound gratitude for the sheer fact of being alive and aware in this very moment. To be able to experience the world, to feel, to learn, to love, this is the ultimate gift. Part 4. The practice of gratitude, how to cultivate a grateful heart. Gratitude is a skill. It is a quality of mind that can be strengthened through regular and intentional practice. Here are some of the key methods for weaving gratitude into the fabric of our lives. 1. Mindfulness of gratitude. This is the practice of consciously looking for things to be grateful for throughout our day. It is the application of contentment, recognizing goodness, in real time. Gratitude anchors. You can link the practice to routine activities. For example, every time you wash your hands, take a moment to be grateful for clean, running water. Every time you eat, take a moment of gratitude for the food. 3 good things. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on 3 things that went well and that you feel grateful for. They don't have to be monumental events. They can be as simple as the taste of your morning coffee, a kind word from a colleague, or the beauty of a sunset. This practice actively retrains the brain to scan for positives rather than negatives. 2. Gratitude journaling. Writing down what we are grateful for can make the practice more concrete and powerful. Keeping a daily gratitude journal, where you list 5 or 10 things you appreciate, has been shown in numerous studies to significantly increase one's baseline level of happiness and well-being. 3. Formal gratitude meditation. We can also dedicate our formal meditation time to the cultivation of gratitude. Begin by settling your mind with a few minutes of breath awareness. Then, systematically bring to mind the different objects of gratitude: your teachers, your parents, your friends, all beings, your own body, and the simple gift of being alive. With each object, allow the feelings of appreciation, warmth, and joy to arise naturally. Don't force it. Simply hold the object of your gratitude in your awareness and see what feelings emerge. 4. Expressions of gratitude, Katavedi in action. As we have seen, true gratitude naturally overflows into action. Verbal expression. Make it a habit to verbally express your appreciation to the people in your life. Don't assume they know. A sincere thank you can have a profound impact. Acts of service and generosity, Dana. The most powerful way to express our gratitude for the gift of life is to use our life in service of others. By practicing generosity with our time, our energy, and our resources, we are actively repaying the countless kindnesses we have received. Part 5. Gratitude and its connection to joy and wisdom. In the Buddhist framework, wholesome mental states are all interconnected and mutually supportive. Gratitude is not an isolated virtue. It is a gateway to other profound qualities of an awakened mind. Gratitude and sympathetic joy, mudita. As we have explored, gratitude is the natural enemy of envy. As we become more appreciative of our own lives, we are more able to be genuinely happy for the good fortune of others. The practice of anumodana, rejoicing in others' merit, is a direct bridge between gratitude and sympathetic joy. A grateful heart is a joyful heart. And a heart that can rejoice in the happiness of others has an infinite source of joy. Gratitude and wisdom, prajna. While it may seem like a simple emotion, gratitude is deeply connected to wisdom. The practice of gratitude is, in essence, the practice of seeing clearly. It is the wisdom to see our profound interdependence, to recognize the truth of cause and effect, and to appreciate the preciousness of our impermanent human life. An ungrateful mind is a deluded mind. It operates under the false assumption that it is a separate, independent self, entitled to have all its desires met. A grateful mind is a wise mind. It sees the intricate web of conditions that support it and understands that every moment is a gift. This clear seeing dismantles the arrogance of the ego and fosters a deep humility, which is an essential characteristic of wisdom. A mind softened and opened by gratitude is a mind that is far more receptive to the subtle, liberating truths of the Dharma. Conclusion. The radiant mind of gratitude. The importance of gratitude in Buddhism cannot be overstated. It is far more than a simple social grace. It is a profound spiritual discipline, a powerful psychological tool, and a direct path to a joyful and contented heart. It is the conscious choice to turn away from the impoverished mindset of lack and to embrace the immeasurable wealth of the present moment. To cultivate gratitude is to undertake the noble task of becoming a person who is Katanyu and Katavedi, one who recognizes the goodness in their life and expresses that recognition through a life of kindness, generosity, and service. It is a practice that purifies the mind of its most toxic defilements, replacing the bitterness of envy and the agitation of greed with the sweet and peaceful waters of appreciation. The path begins simply, by taking a single, mindful breath and feeling a moment of gratitude for the simple fact of being alive. From this small seed, cultivated with daily practice and sincere intention, grows the great tree of a grateful heart, A tree that provides the cool shade of peace for oneself and offers the sweet fruit of kindness to all beings. It is one of the most beautiful and accessible flowers on the path of awakening. A radiant expression of a mind that is coming home to the truth.